Hi everyone, Jared here. Just a quick little update on a couple of pairs that I'm looking at that I think have some good promise in them. We have seen some very nice runs on the yen pairs mostly, and the Aussie pairs as well. Markets are moving. We're seeing some very nice breakouts and some very nice trends. We'll talk about those in just a second. One thing that we talked about on the webinar was the long trend lines on the day charts. We've got to look at all these day charts. We have long trend lines on all these day charts, and everything is broken out of these long day trends right here. The euro yen did the same thing right here, and they have made very nice moves since they broke out of these levels. So just like we talked about on the webinar, very crucial key levels to look for, very good signs of trend reversals. We're going to have to just watch and see how much they're willing to move, if this is going to be a bit of a range-bound market on a large range, or if they're planning on making a big turn. So we'll talk about that as we go. One pair that I think is a pretty good opportunity that has just recently broken right here is we have the euro pound that's been in this downtrend here for about the last 4 months, and it's just recently broken. It's making some small movements here, nothing too major. Here it has given us a nice push above. We've got a clean open and close, and then we're on to our third day of being outside of this trend without too much significant movement. On the grand scheme of things, I think this is a pretty good area to make some sort of a turnaround. It's made some pretty consistent large drops on the bigger picture, and down to the day chart we see that there's definitely some room to continue upwards. So I think this is a good little buying opportunity right here. I'd like to see a little bit more retracement, come down to some of these lower time frames here and see this retrace back to the red line, look for some entries on that red line and so on. But I think this is a nice area to get in and hold a slightly longer term position to see how much we can pull out of this. There it is, how much we can pull out of this euro pound. So I think that's a good one to be looking at. A buy on the euro pound. It's currently trading at about 0.643. If this thing could retrace, 20-30 pips, that would be great. But either way, I think there's a good opportunity to take a buy right here. Now, two things that I wanted to go over quickly is potential summer channels on the dollar pairs as they relate to the euro and the pound. So first of all, on the euro dollar, levels that we really need to watch for and be careful of as being potential summer levels are going to be about this 137.40 on the euro, 137.40 for the lower range, and about 143.30 for the upper range. Now this area gives us approximately about a 600 pip channel, and the market is just bouncing back and forth in this area. So we really need to watch as it gets down to here. This will actually be visiting once it reaches this lower part of the channel. That'll be overlapping with the overall uptrend that it's been in for the last little while, so that gives it even more power to potentially bounce. So I'm looking at these two levels to be the summer channel on the euro dollar. Pound dollar is a little bit tougher to tell, but I think we're going to be somewhere in the 166.50 and about 158.00 for the bottom. So 158.00 for the bottom, 166.50 for the top. We've seen that it's definitely having a heck of a time breaking above that upper level, so we're not going to be looking at trying to trade anything too much higher than that. And it's broken out of its triangle and made some very nice movements downward, but as it reaches this 158.00, that will be the bottom of a potential channel, as well as overlapping this overall uptrend that it's been in for the last several months as well. So I will be looking for these two summer channels, 158.00 to 166.50 on the pound dollar, and about 137.40 to 143.30 on the euro dollar. As far as these euro yen, Aussie dollar pairs go, big breakouts on the daily chart. Everything's looking very nice as far as that all goes. One thing that has definitely caught my attention here is this lower level that the market has briefly broken below, but given us quite a bit of retracement. It's about the 7,800 to about 7,750 to 7,800, kind of this basic area here. So if the market can get below this, this will be a nice break of the neckline and give us a very nice downward movement. But we need to get it just a little bit lower than it currently is. It's trading at about 77.80 right now, so we need to get it below about 77.50 and keep it below 77.50 to give us some nice downward movement. I think that'll be a good confirmation of the break of this neckline. So good pairs, the euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, and the euro pound are all giving us fairly good areas to get in, but especially the euro pound, once again a buying opportunity basically where it stands. some small retracement would be great, but I think this will be a nice area to get in and ride this up for a fairly longer term run. So good luck, everybody. Let me know if you have questions. We'll catch you on the chat. Thanks.